Good morning, noon, and night. I'm Drow Wizardess. The man behind the controller is Ranger Orc, and as always, our lovely editor, Cleo the Alien. Last time on Bloodborne with Proper, we were unlocking the first area. We picked up some cold blood, which are like poppable souls. All that means is when you use the items, you get souls, or in this case, blood echoes. We also picked up a few bloodstone shards, which are the first items needed to upgrade our weapons. Currently, we're in the sewers, and the wildlife down here is ROUSs. For those of you who think they don't really exist, I beg to differ. So, here in the sewers, we're going to come across some rats, and thankfully, they're not as bad as the Bloodborne dogs, but they can still come at you pretty fast if you're not quite prepared for them. So, we're going to take out a few of them real quick. Yes, yes, come to me. Take a nice nap now. Come on, there's two more. Yes. One more. Yeah. Now we'll go back up the ladder. And remember the drop down we couldn't make before? Can we do it this time? Can we do it? Can we do it? Yes. Success. Thank you for the glowy bit and the throwing knives. Now we're going to make our way back to that ladder and up top again. Looking to make sure we didn't miss any of the glowy things. And also looking for the ladder. This place all looks relatively the same. So when you're trying to find a black object in a black area, it can be a little tricky. And you know, us being us, naturally, we're gonna go every way that isn't the ladder. There it is. Gotta equip the Molotovs real quick, don't mind us. Now, the wolfmen over there don't really like fire, but they also really don't like us. Case in point. No matter how hard we try aggroing just one of those wolfmen, it never seems to be in the card for us. The other one always comes too. Sometimes it's faster than that, sometimes it's not. But one-on-one fights with them don't happen often. And yes, we are back at Asefka's clinic. We still have not sat at that second lantern, so we'll have to make our way back to it. One day we will sit at that lantern, but today is not that day. So we're gonna make our way back through these locals real quick and up the ladder. just want to go up the ladder. Up the ladder. Through the shortcut. Through the shortcut house. Not forgetting to take out the locals and pick up any of the glowy things that they may drop for us. Our luck always seems to be if we run past these guys, they still come for us. That and this room can be useful for other reasons, so it's best just to clear them out while we're here. So we're gonna make a quick throw of the Molotov and slowly make our way back towards that shortcut house, making sure to keep the wolf man in sight. This house is useful, as I was saying earlier, due to the wolfmen being too big to fit through the door. So if you need a quick breather because they're coming at you and you may not be quite prepared to handle them, that top floor of that house is useful. I was really worried that that Molotov was going through the thigh gap of the wolfman, because that is a problem. Can't forget to pick up our souls. We'll need them for later for sure. Back down towards the kennels. You know, even the locals who are already a bit mad know that the dogs can't be trusted and should not be let out of their cages. Take out the ones around the corner and grab the glowy bit. One more dog for good measure.
You're a hunter, aren't you, I think? Well, if he wants us, you're obligated to what, Libnish? Are you going to tell me you... Yeah, yes. Go on.
The cranky old lady behind the door is the first person we've met who we actually have the opportunity to help. However, at this time, there isn't a whole lot we can do for her. We don't quite know of any safe places to advise her to go. We will come back for you, old lady. You're the only sensible one here. We will come back for you. Down the stairs, we did a quick parry to make short of that beastie. And yes, there is something satisfying about taking out all the barrels. The point of the barrel breaking in this case is to reach the NPC on the other side. Meet Eileen the Crow. She is a hunter of hunter, and if we do things right, this won't be the last we see of her.
An outsider. What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight, here, to welcome the new hunter. Prepare yourself. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now. Still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts? No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves. What are you still doing here?
She gave us
Enough
some bold
trembling in your
hunter's
boots.
marks, which are
A
like homeward
hunter
bones.
must hunt.
If you don't know what that means, it's essentially a quick way to fast travel back to the current lantern. It doesn't reset the area, so you will still need to go back to the hunter's dream for that. Once more back to the top, to the sketchy scaffoldings. There are some bodies here that are hanging from the ceiling, as you can tell, and they have loot on them. Gotta be careful because you never know when you swing your weapon, are you gonna fall? And as I've stated before, gravity is my friend at the worst of times, and I would go careening down with the item. We weren't quite sure which was the item we wanted. Those handy dandy little guys there, Jim Bob may be part of them, was useful in letting us know that was the item we wanted, but we were going to pick it up either way. Take care of this guy real quick so we can go pick up the loot we want. Wait, glowy thing, gotta grab it. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go back and find a safe place to drop down that's not gonna hurt us too badly. My ankles. So we just picked up the Saw Spear, and this is Ranger Orc's favorite weapon in the game, or at least one of. It keeps its serration mod both transformed and not, which makes it super useful to have. And the fact that when it is transformed, you can still use the parry mechanic is a handy dandy feature. I'm gonna equip that real quick. I'd really appreciate it if they'd stop shooting at me. Are they going to? Not at the moment, but I'd still rather not get shot at. Be ideal. Gotta love a good drop down attack. Madman's Canoleg. Very useful. We'll need that to level up since we haven't gone after a boss yet. So we are going to be using the Saw Spear for the majority of the run. It's a good weapon. And don't get us wrong, we love the axe that you can start with, and the transformation does give you a lot of reach, and it's fantastic to use. If you haven't, it's worth a shot. But not having that parry mechanic kind of takes away from some of the gameplay for us, so we prefer to have it. Not to say we don't use the axe. We have a funsy run going on at the moment that the axe is the weapon of choice. It really just comes down to preference and what you feel most comfortable with. Proper was our first playthrough through Bloodborne, and the Saw Spear was a weapon that just fit our play style. You may like it, you may hate it. It all just depends on how you play the game. Please stop shooting at me. Thank you. My ankles. We pick up all these throwing knives. I don't know if we will ever use them, but they're there. They exist. Back into the gross sewer water. Yay, more ladders. Please don't shoot me while I'm climbing up this ladder. Thank you for missing. Ow. Please stop. Please. It tracks that there's two of you. They're not too difficult to take care of, but anytime somebody's just sniping at you, it's never a fun time. It may feel like we are going up and down these same ladders a lot, but again, loot goblins here. You can't get all the glowy items with just one run. So multiple attempts are needed to pick it all up. Even if we don't wind up using everything here, we can sell things for blood echoes later. Let's see, can we make this drop? Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah, first try, let's go. More upgrade materials for our lovely saw spear we just got. These birds think they're sneaky. They're not. They just blend into the surroundings. They try to be sneaky, but flying at your face kind of disrupts that. Haha, found the ladder. Some of these ladders are extremely long. More birds. Throw a firebomb just for safety. It's not like the crows are difficult, but they can stun lock you if you're not ready for them. Hey, play! Madman's canoe leg! And another brick man. I'd rather not take a brick to the face, please. Oh, no brick, just a giant club. Either way, I don't want to take that to the face either. Good night. Sweet dreams, thanks for the healing potion. Back up another ladder.
Are you? I don't know your voice. Yes. Are you a hunter? Maybe it's where you look for my mum. Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find him. But now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box. It plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it.
Gotta remember to exhaust all dialogue. The little girl at the window is Papa G's daughter. If you know, Papa G is a hunter we will meet soon. We appreciate having the music box. It won't be used, but we will look at it and think of her. Down the ladder again. Went up there to open that shortcut, talk to the little girl to make sure her quest line is moving along the way it should be. More ladders down. Of course, there's a glowing item in all of this unseemly bad guys. Just creepy crawlies who are just there. We just want the glowy bits. That's all we want. And if you drop more glowy bits, we'll take them. Just ammo? Fair enough. That will be useful later, I'm sure. More creepy crawlies. And back up yet another ladder. At least this time nobody's shooting at us, so that's an upside. Unlock this shortcut. If the button would press, there we go. I request a flaming bowling ball. Strike. Oh, we missed one. I guess it's not a strike. 9 pins. Close enough. We'll handle for the spare. Bowing for no particular reason other than I was handing Ranger Orc some coffee at the time, and we didn't even know how to do gestures on the PlayStation controller, so, you know, we learn something new every day. I would appreciate no brick to the face. Thank you. Much appreciated. If only the shields were actually viable in Bloodborne. I'm a panic dodge roller. That's not really an option here. Thank goodness Range Orc is playing and not me. More ladders! Yay! This poor pig. I say, but he's a pig. He eats everything. The Saw Hunter badge to pick up any of those items you might have missed earlier, or if you wanted to try a different starting weapon. It gives you that option back at the Hunter's Dream. If you don't like the cleaver, or if you picked the cane whip, or if you just want to try something different, it's a good option to change things up or see if you like the way something feels a little bit better. For us, it's just a glowy bit that's got to get picked up. Wow, we actually were sneaky there. Impressive. Fair trade. We'll get that parry off eventually. Gotta grab the glowy bits. Extra healing items. Even though we can only carry the 20, the rest of them will go into storage back at the dream. And once we fast travel to the dream and back, it'll automatically restore those for us. It does the same thing with the bullets up there, which is fairly useful. One day we will sit at that other lantern. Today is not that day. Let's head back to the dream with purpose this time. Madman's Canoleg. So in order to level up for the first time, you need to get Insight, which is that little eyeball underneath the Blood Echo count there at the top of the screen. If you use the Madman's Canoleg like we did, we have to fast travel, reset the dream. That way the doll will actually wake up, as you'll see here in just a moment when we get back. Insight you can get two different ways. One, by defeating a boss. You don't actually have to defeat the boss, you just kind of have to go into the arena, and typically they'll give you one. So if you want to walk into a boss arena, get the Insight, use a Homeward Bone, and come back to the dream so you can get that level here. Then you can, or you can find one of those Madman Canoleg like we did out in the sewer, and then as long as you use one and you have that one number up there, you can level. Now here on out, you don't have to have any Insight on your person to level, but to get the doll to wake up the first time, you do have to have at least one. Now we're going to go ahead here, and before we spend those souls on levels, we're going to upgrade the soul spear with the bloodstone shards that we had collected out and about. And then we will come back to the doll and get some levels here. Proper did start off as the military veteran, so that's why our current stats sit where they are. Checking out to see if we have any of those poppable souls to get us an extra level. Safer to use all of the souls than carry them out and about, even such a low number. Use them if you got them. Not quite enough. Let's see what else we can finagle. I'm sure we have another one we can pop real quick.
What is it?
We did, so let's get that level again. Popping that skill up to 20. Gotta love a good damage increase. Spend the rest of the souls because we don't want them on our person just in case of a death. Rather safe than sorry. And seeing as the game progresses, those items will become more and more expensive as the night goes on. Rather buy what we can now at that discounted rate. Now, on to our first boss. We are going to slowly make our way over to the cleric beast. He is, or she, not really quite sure, is on that bridge with the two wolfmen that you can lure back into this house. Or as close to in this house as you can. They can't fit through the door. But for safety's sake, we'll take these guys out if it can make our lives easier. Nope, they decided to stay on that side of the bridge. They can have that side of the bridge. Rather take the opportunity to get to the boss. Oh, no brick to the face, thank you. Rather not. Love the ragdoll physics. And here is the cleric beast. Howdy doody. So the cleric beast, as the name implies, is a beast enemy, and the saw spear, as I mentioned earlier, is a serrated weapon. Beasts naturally take increased damage from the serrated weapons, which is why it's so nice that the saw spear here does the additional damage both transformed and not. Whereas when the saw cleaver we initially started with only does it in one portion of its move set. Get a cheeky little heal in here. Another one for good measure. And Cleric Beast went down without too much muss or fuss. We got a Sword Hunter badge out of the deal, which is always nifty. And naturally, we forgot to light the lantern, but realistically, we don't come back here. And if we do, it won't be back here that often, just because we know how to get around, at least this beginning area. Now, the rest of the game is a totally other ballgame. We're slow and steady and make sure we get everything we need, and we're not too familiar with Bloodborne yet, unlike the other Souls games. And at this point, we were running short on time, and we had 8 minutes left for this recording, and Ranger Orcs was like, hold my coffee. 8 minutes, I can take out Papa G. You thought you could sneak up on me? Not today. Thank you for the healing items. Always useful. Quick heal. Back to that elevator shortcut we unlocked earlier. And on our way to Papa G. Can I request another flaming bowling ball? You saw nothing. Strike? Yay! This time we succeeded. No brick to the face. Those shields really do leave something to be desired. But I guess that's kind of the point of Bloodborne. The shields aren't really what you're here for. Quick and easy, still within that 8-minute mark of being able to fight both bosses. Hi, Papa G.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
You'll be one sooner rather than later, my friend. Now, Papa G here uses the blunderbuss as well as that starting axe you have the option of taking. He is one of the builds we use frequently, so it's always fun when you're playing Hunter v Hunter and you're using the same items. Who wore it best? Bloodborne Edition. Now, you could use the music box. We typically don't, but it is always an option. But things move a little too fast-paced here for us to warrant stop movement to use a music box to get him to transform.
What's that smell?
Get those cheeky heels in there as he transforms his weapon and phase changes.
Oh, it sings to me. It's enough to make a man sick.
I know, Papa G. I know. You're a little too far gone, buddy. I did say sooner rather than later. Oops. Stinking gravestones. They can cause more problems than they're worth. Yep, we're just gonna shoot him. Don't even want to take the chance of missing a heal and getting attacked for it. Yay, Papa G. His story is just so sad, but he needs the good rest, and little Jim Bob there still needs a hat. We'll get them. We'll get them hats in time. Back to the hunter's dream. Because we've got some souls to spend and some insight to spend as well. And that wraps it up for the second installation of proper Let's Plays. Thank you all for watching. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, hyping the video. And don't go hollow now.